the thing that it's not a terrible situation to be in if you are still long. Like somebody asked me earlier, they had a longer tomorrow's expiration. Should they hold? This is where you can hedge yourself, right back down. Now we'll see. I'm gonna take a look and see how those premiums look because I could see those being a little bit expensive. Oh, let me see QQQ for tomorrow. Okay, so I'm saying 420. Jesus Christ, those are actually pretty inflated. This is pure IB. Pure IB.
He's a dangerous one.
I mean, if you made any money to the upside and you trimmed, I don't think $75, $60 is that bad. But that is the worst case scenario. Now, this is where that large spike in price obviously is going to change the risk to reward behind the contracts that you choose because the inflation or these are inflated extremely high. So with that being said, here we go, breaking down to that next leg. Tread carefully. You can still make a lot of money by putting a little bit of money on the table. You don't have to risk your whole fucking biscuit to make any cash. So, are we closing these? Oh God, jacuzzi surfer. I don't know what that means. But anyway, 24-hour candle close. Let's go ahead and take a look at and draw a couple of lines in the sand, right? We did successfully close outside of 442.76, which is the 2 wicks that we have above us, right? So that we got that going for us. Now, as far as floors that we've recovered, we have nothing to look for except for what's here to our left, right? So that opening candle tomorrow or where we close that's going to be an important floor that leads us either back or holds us up to lead us back up. Now, to the upside, you can see that we filled up a lot of that empty space, but we still have a floor at 460, 450. And as you move down, right, that translates. Now, here on the 4-hour, you already hit the floor, which just leaves this lower time frame pocket of empty space here available to get filled, right, with an exact target of 472.50 on the high end, or if you're just taking it to the floor, would be 466.37. Are you still short, guys, on the Qs? I know it bounced up and retested, but that retest made for a pretty good entry.
What was the reason for this move today?
The pause on tariffs.
Oh God.
And the chart. We'll see. I don't do fair value gaps, dude. I don't recognize them as legit analysis for myself. So anyway, and there you go. Look what you just bounced off of. Without it's actually the floor over here to your left. Right here, that 1 wick. I don't know why I had that so low. Right there. So anyway, yes, the potential can and could be that we come back down and simply retest 443. If you break down underneath that, we'll have a target around the 420s. Which I think would play into the channel that we have been operating in, right? So this is a good place to pay attention. I think the channel is likely set to expand a little bit, but yeah, it's kind of fighting over that. Anyway, let's take a look at SPY. SPY is, again, same thing as the Qs. Above its candle closes on the 4-hour, you don't have exact wickages, but you do have this floor or ceiling here at 523. So that is what SPY is going to try to make an effort to hold. You can see that level plays out clearly on the 2-hour. The 2-hour is really clean for SPY. So most of your levels, unfortunately, are coming over here from the left, right? It looks like 431.72. kind of what we're hanging on to right now, right? Now, on a lower time frame, as we move down, you tapped the first green candle here to your left and the bottom of the box. So this space, right, could be where you chop, and that is possible. And that creates the tension for A, the move down, or B, the move back up. So, I mean, again, if you made money with us today, I feel like you should, we don't need to fucking rush into anything. There's not, an insatiable need to continue trading because the move that was made, more than likely the same thing would need to occur. Save for we do have data tomorrow, right? And that data could actually be what sends us right back down or helps us hold what we got and continue moving back up. So, that was exhausting, but it's still a good play. Oh yeah. To the downside, yeah. All right, so that's SPY. IWM, which, yeah, wow. That is no. Jorge, was it you that I talked about this with? Who asked me about this one? I said this one was whipping harder, and I said because of that, there was a better chance for it to go under the box and then whip back up. And that's exactly what you've done, right? Now, you don't really get much out of the 24-hour, but the 4-hour shows a good amount of structure and where you need to hold, which is 185.75. 1 hour translates well. 30-minute translates really well as well. So that 185.75 is a unilaterally important level all the way across the board. So, and it looks like it's also building a box. So moving back up to the 4-hour, you don't really have any structure above you. The first green candles to your left, which are here, is exactly where we're being held underneath. So it would be on the 1 hour, we should be able to find that. And there's the answer to your questions if you're going up. And here's your answers to your questions if you're going down. This should be relatively easy for those of you guys who are seasoned traders in here to identify. Underneath 185.50 south, over 192 or high of day. We have a pocket and a 197 target with runners to 200. Moni, yeah, D-Train says hi, everybody. Yeah, we missed you too. I hope you
Hello. Hello.
I hope you're doing really well. Also, are you also a YouTuber or am I tripping? I mean, I have a YouTube. That's me.
Hey, look, it's him.
It's me. Can I take a look at Carvana? Yeah, so while we're watching price action here towards the end of the day, trying to make a good decision here, if you guys have any questions or requests, we can take a look at those now. Things have moved since this morning. So, by the way, if you did have a great day, be sure to drop your requests or drop your gains in the gains channel. Love to see them. So, all right, first one is NVIDIA. Wow. Straight to the target. Yep. So what's above this? That is the floor. The next target would be 114. All right, 4-hour time frame, or 4-hour time frame. Is it this little bastard right here that's holding you? It sure is. That little tiny one.
The streams are full, sorry.
Both streams are full. There's 3 streams now, isn't there?
There's 3 streams.
Yeah, you should be able to get it now. So the remaining price target for NVIDIA is here at cost basis at 118.67 if you're continuing to look for a hold. But what is required is that you hang on above 110, which you're struggling with right now. So identifying where this fall might happen, which takes you all the way down to the 5-minute where you have a box here. So how you respond to 109, that could give you greater insight. But I would say looking at the 24-hour candle, you're pretty much limited to 118 for now. And if tomorrow data comes in nasty, then you're looking back down through that box at a retest at 104.60. So damn, nobody has any requests today. Cool. All right, what else do we have on TikTok? Let's see, TEM. Yeah, and our Discord is 35% off right now. Ivy's posted the code a couple times. All right, Tempest. So you shot back up. You did so off of the gap fill, if I'm not mistaken, and cost basis, which makes total sense. So you know that's where you're trying to pop up above. But in order to leave that box and be successful in any sort of upside action, you would need to get over the 45.65 and punch through the box that it's sitting underneath, which is giving you a 47.60 punchback. Otherwise, this is just more room for chop. PLTR. It's hard to say anything less than 95.45 and even the potential to move up and go and retest. I never really did retest that floor, so I could see $100 getting retested if we could hold and continue to the upside. Now this one looks pretty strong and it is holding above its sell levels pretty well. So you're just focused on the box up above you right here and the next box on the hourly up here. So 95.33. JD. I'm gonna just say that I still see more downside for Chinese stocks, even with the recovery today. I think it's gonna be a little harder to sell or sell this to the buyers, I guess, if you will. Damn, the Qs are going ape shit right now. Lower time frame anyway. Lots of volume being put in here. So you are to some degree bottoming out, right? You got 3 taps off the bottom, so one could look at a 38.85 target to the upside on a breakout side of that. And again, tough conditions to do so. Shoulder hurts. Let's see, 24-hour down, and then to the downside, right? That's where it's huge. Where you have, you could set up a straddle on that one, but I would be looking down towards 29 and ultimately to 27. Shit, I might fucking take that one short with you. I don't know about now, but I could see that one. If it does gap down, I could see it gapping down under 32, and then I could probably take that intraday. So TQQQ is going to be basically the same story as everything else. You're attempting to go and grab 51.19, punch through 52.14. I think this is 2 boxes stacked on top of one another. So it's basically 53.40, and you can still see a move up into that 56.33. So I look at AMD. I thought I did. Did I already do that? No, I didn't. Wow. AMD straight up hit that bottom floor, wicked out, broke over its 89 today, and went straight up to fill the empty space at 95.41. So the next target should be right here at 98.85. If you can continue to the upside, and this is going to be a big floor, I think a big deal for AMD, is how you respond to this. I mean, a big euphoric pop up. I am not going long into tomorrow without something considerable to the downside, or something that makes sense to the downside. That's an important statement everybody needs to know, because I'm just reminding everybody how we move in really, really nasty bear markets, right? And crashes, anything of that line. It's day by day, news by news, but you look at over here, right? This closes fucking green, but it doesn't grab anything. It just closes against it. The next 3 days are a chop shit fest, and then we fall. So, don't let euphoria, don't let the fact that we hit this fat trade. We hit this fat trade by being patient. What have I said Monday and Tuesday? Be patient. And there was little plays here and there, but this is what I want. All right. Celsius is still struggling with 38. I have $40 as the next target to the upside, which is cost basis. So above today's high, literally. But they're attempting to pull that thing back down. I mean, you're sitting precariously right here. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. Not to overcomplicate the analysis. What the fuck is this? Interesting. So, A, you're still up against that floor, and B, you have 2 targets up above you that are pretty short term. Q's, what are you doing here? See if this changes my analysis. Oof, I need a fucking neuro gum, dude. Yeah, dude, that rip.
I'm muted. Hey, you should take Target out, man. This thing, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I scooped some up. That was the break, but I heard you say, like, with hedges to the downside, if you're gonna take anything long.
Yeah, I think today, like having a $90 or something, around like even 85.
You have more floors than I have. I didn't really mark out those market floors too much.
What, like oh, well, these are just like right now the wicks, I noticed the wick was
99.43.
Yeah, but yeah, the next target is 99.50, 99.40, whatever. But it's I mean, if this thing can pop tomorrow, it looks great. It's holding, so. No, the bear market, did you catch the rip? Yes. Yes, we caught this rip. Look, I mean, dude, look. And again, you go to my YouTube channel last night and this morning. This is exactly what I talked about. If you're having FOMO right now, just feel it. Just don't do anything. It's just like being angry, sad, or anything, right? You can feel those things. You don't have to act on them. Just observe. Why do you feel that way? Sometimes those, they're just there. You just have to feel them. Don't act on them. Oh, I got some bread, dude. Yeah, that was amazing. I'm actually like, I feel sleepy after things like that happen. My brain's like, finally, you're done. With accusing ODT, how do you decide it's time to be done in situations like this with runners? Honestly, at some point, the time left in the day just doesn't make any sense. If you're deep in the money, like, you're protected from in some ways, but yeah, I would say, like, 3:30, and there's not much, if anything, on the table. If it's moving in the right direction, like right now, if you had a few, it's okay. But come 3:30, you're still chopping up in this range. No, you gotta get rid of that motherfucker. But good thing it's just runners. Oh shit, I'm surprised Robin hadn't sold those. Bro's blue balling me so hard right now. What are you talking about? My favorite streamer and therapist too. Shit, I have a therapist. I think therapists have therapists though, so. Because how can you give a bunch of people therapy without getting therapy yourself? Then wait, so now you have an everlasting chain of therapy. People who are therapists that need therapists. Which then thus fuels the therapist war machine. Crazy. No, I'm just
Just
kidding.
found out I have 5 SoFi contracts from yesterday that were runners. I forgot about them.
I thought you were gonna say you have 5 therapists. I was like, that makes.
No, they gave up on me a long time ago.
Have
Cade
you ever?
means business. He doesn't care about this to talk about therapists.
Do what?
I said Cade means business, not therapy.
Yeah.
My pastor is so fucking cool.
Bro, accept my gratitude for your free education. For once, MSDR returned 1,300% to just today. I accept your gratitude, dude. I'm really, really, really glad. You know what? You know what really pisses me off about therapy is I pay all this money to go there, and they just let me talk, and I'll say like what my problem is, and then begin to describe the solution. And then I'm just stuck in this thing where I'm like, I know what to do. I know why I'm doing it, but I just can't stop. And she's like, well, I can't stop you. Yeah. It's frustrating.
I went to a therapist a couple of years ago. Went twice and then decided not to go back. And then like a month later, I called back and they said she quit.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh fuck! I put her out of business. She just gave up.
If I had not gotten therapy, guys, I would not be here.
Therapy's a good thing.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, like coming even just getting and having success in life, I can't describe it, man. It was not what I thought. It was tumultuous at best. I felt a lot of yin and yang inside of me. All right, hold on 1 second. I'm watching the cues. The cues are giving me yin and yang right now.
Yeah, just having that outlet for therapy, like just someone outside of your circle that you can just vent to, getting it off your chest is amazing.
Yeah, but my survivor's guilt or whatever they call it, was a thing, or not survivor's guilt or whatever, but imposter syndrome. Going from where I came from to this just didn't make sense to me. It felt like I was disassociating or something. But yeah, I mean, childhood trauma and shit like that was still had a hold on me. Because like once you're able to do, that's the hardest thing, is when you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of access to resources, you don't have a tribe, you don't have a ton of people that you can just like unload this shit on. Most of us just need something to talk about. Speaking of talking about, I just hit 4,000% on the 2 contracts I have left on the queues. Phil Potter, not the flashbacks. Oh my god. All right, now I think we go to 460, 650. Shit, maybe before the bell? God damn it, don't do it.
That's what she said.
I see just 460, 250. Dude, that's going to rock people's socks if we go that far. 4,100% here. I got 2 contracts. See, now this is where it gets hard for me because I got a little bit of empty space left, but I don't want to take this one off the table. So I zoom down. Zoom. And responding to F5. It's the fucking end of the day. I'm going to sell one.
Somebody spit in the Q's mouth.
Whoa.
What?
Soundboard, dude. AI is getting crazy. You know how it is.
Shit, I hear you.
That was the witness of that. It was not AI.
Nah, dude. He's paid by BlackRock. That was funny, dude. You said that before AI was really popular, though, dude. So it's different. Damn, y'all. I bought that contract for $43. These contracts are selling at $1,800 right now.
That's insane. You know what? You know what my
Somebody spit in
problem
the
is?
Q's mouth.
I always think it's just there's no way it does it in the last 3 hours. And man, this is like the fourth time I've been here. Like it did it.
I mean, that's the lesson right there. Is
I know.
we
I'm
don't
like, how
have
many
control
times,
of
but you just gotta trust it.
Gotta trust
So
it.
crazy.
At some point, dude, I dealt with the same
Work.
thing. Like I was right, but I
Can't even
also
believe
had
what I'm
this
seeing.
mind where like I needed to get out of like 100% was like it. You did it. You know what I mean? And so like 100% I was out. And I mean, I couldn't tell you how many things ripped monumentally past my target. You know, or like
Yeah.
went or rather went to where I thought it was going to go, but happened. You know, I panicked because I'm staring at my contracts, dude. It's something that teaches you.
Crazy.
You know. All
But
right.
I feel like going down this path eventually. Yeah, like you said, one day I'm just gonna like fuck it, just take it, take the trade.
I bought the contract this morning. I bought some
How'd you
around
hold through that?
9:45 and then around 10. What?
How'd you hold through that if you bought them so early in the morning? The chop killed those contracts, no?
Yeah, I bought them towards the end of the chop, or in the
Oh,
chop.
okay.
Yeah, in the chop. That's right. I basically was like getting off where I was talking about how boring it was, and then I just discussed, you know, before that, like where our targets were going to be, and that in these conditions, it's, you know, if you're going to go long, because it's good to have positions in a market like this, but because the IV is so high, you have to stretch out into those targets that are far away. But luckily, the chart agreed that there was the potential to get pretty far from where we were.
The
So
452 is worth 12 cents. They're selling for like 500 right now.
yeah,
I feel like I got a crystal ball with this fucking strategy. I can't believe I'm watching this shit. This morning I literally said, like, you really think we go $20? Yeah. Yup. And I'm like, fuck, really? And then all of a sudden I'm doing dishes and I'm like, no fucking way we're at 455, dude.
Potter is my drug.
yeah, man, it's
That's
cool.
so nutty, dude. This is insane. Close the Discord.
Close the Discord.
We know too much.
One day I will, man. One day I fucking will.
Bro, you fucking got it, dude. Let me tell you. This is crazy.
No.
No, Ivy said no. Ivy,
Ivy's gonna get laid off.
no, dude. Ivy would just run my account for me. She'd be like,
Ivy, I've been meaning to ask you.
Hey,
you
yo.
see these trades? You look at this? You hear him talk all day? You picking up on this?
Which one, me?
Yeah, like do you? Because you. I think
Yeah,
you pay attention.
I actually somehow get it, like how it works.
The other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, she's gotta know something over there.
I tried charting the very first few weeks when I decided that I will try to apply to TradeStation, and then I'll be sending or like sharing my charts, you know, asking if I marked it correctly, something like that.
Yeah,
It's close.
that's super cool.
Oh, Owen Baker said, just made my first 13,000 off of $200. Thank you for all the lessons and help. Dude,
That's insane.
bro, I don't even know how to, like, I need therapy for that kind of shit, dude. How do I digest that shit, dude? Like, that makes me so fucking, I could run a mile right now. I'd get halfway through and be tired, but you know what? I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna have Marzel help me. I'm gonna call it the Guru Recovery or like Refugee Program, where I'm gonna help retrain. I'm gonna make like a professional commercial. I'm gonna wear a suit and all. And be like, in the Potter Sox PBS system, we help take these shitty scammers and turn them into actual gurus. Yeah, you're changing lives. Thanks, man.
I thought you were gonna make a video of like you they're like going through therapy after a big win.
That would
Just
be
winning
good.
too
Are you
much.
saying that's a good idea? I should do one?
Yeah, you should. I mean, like I hear you yelling and stuff, but it'd be nice to like visually see you do like a backflip or something.
Bro, can I make a documentary about you? I don't know about that, man. It makes me feel weird. I don't know if I'm not that important, man. Yeah, I don't know.
A doc would be kind of fire, though. I won't lie.
I would write. I maybe write a book or something. I mean, I am trying to. I've started 2 separate drafts. I haven't. I mean, one's more in my head than on paper, but you gotta give me a minute to think about that one. It makes me nervous. Oh, dude, I got $100 on a Disney arcade card for anybody going to Disney resorts. Maybe I should do that in the next giveaway. You can only spend it at Disney's arcade, which means you had to spend $8,000 to get that card.
Bro, I can't believe we're back up almost to 475 before all this shit happened.
You stole another one of my shirts. Will you stop stealing all my fucking clothes?
Nutty. This is so nutty.
You have like $100 outfits up there. You're wearing all black. I mean, of course, you look adorable, but like, that's my shirt.
Bro, is anybody like Takis?
All right.
Oh yeah.
Dude, have you tried the churro ones? They're not hot.
No.
Oh my god.
I buy these organic churro things from Whole Foods or
Dude, I
Fresh
fucking
Market.
love churros.
Yeah, that's all white.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that's fitting in. That's pretty much like white people trying to fit into Taki world.
Churro truck that 2 Mexicans run here in town, and they make them there on site, and it's awesome.
Yo, I bet
Is it
advantage
spicy,
of the white
or
people.
do they do the mild ones?
I would eat churro cereal, dude.
They do them all. They do all
They
kinds
actually
of
make
things.
that. It's pretty good.
I would fuck with it heavy. I love cinnamon anything, dude.
ETC.
I do the cinnamon challenge just for fun. I love that shit so much.
Nah. Hey, have you ever done it?
What?
Have you ever done it?
The cinnamon challenge? Of course, dude.
Oh man,
That's crazy.
I never did that. Is it? How does it taste? Because it's like people make these weird faces of it, but like I don't know how it would
It's not well, I mean, it kind of tastes a little bit like dirt. I mean, like it has like a really earthy taste. You can taste the cinnamon in it, or like, well, it is cinnamon, but like it's bark. You know, it's like a tree bark. So you're like, but it's not the face isn't necessarily the taste. The face is because you can't fucking breathe, and then when you do breathe, you get a fucking cinnamon blast in your fucking lungs. That's why people cough it up, dude. All right, it is 3:31. I'm holding one contract of QQQ 444 calls at 4,400 or 600%. It's going too fast, dude. We're gonna hit my target, bro. We're gonna hit my fucking target, bro.
If we close above 461, that's reclaiming that floor, no?
Pretty fucking close. Yeah, it is. But then the question is, where does that take us? Because then we have
473.
Bye, babe. Be safe. I love you.
Oh, yeah. Oh God, never mind. Yeah.
Can you imagine trading this candle back down? Oh my God, I'm gonna ride that shit like a stripper. Sorry.
Yeah, that's that perfect. Well, there's a few different entries actually. Yeah, right there.
To reinstall my brain filter, dude. Should be getting past my lips. I'll be like, what the fuck? Why did I say that? Have you tried churro protein? I saw that. I would, if I was lifting more, I would. If I eat that, I'm just gonna get fat. Sure. Go. Come on, dude. Anybody
Someone close my bro right now.
Is anybody holding runners with me?
And if they push, let's go.
I know some people are still holding tomorrow's contracts, right? Who asked me about that earlier? fine. We'll figure it out.
I took I took TSLL 1050s for next week when we started moving after the tariff pause. They're booming right now.
Are they? Fuck yeah, man. Can I look at Dollar General long term? About to hit 4,800% on this contracts. Good God. And these are expiring in fucking 25. I mean, I'm 444s are so deep. Dude, look, that's my contracts. That's isn't that fucking crazy?
That's insane, dude.
That's insane, bro.
Have you ever had a move like that? Like this one's
this is one of the bigger.
That's a lot.
This is big. Yeah, this is definitely up there. But
COVID move.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Actually, this reminds me a lot of how it was to play after COVID. But it's so crazy. The part that blows
around and be down 10% too.
Yeah, the part that blows my mind, guys, is that it's the chart.
It is.
Like
dude.
it just like you reflect on this and it's there and we felt it, we talked about it, like we entertained the potential of the other side. But that was so good.
Hey, can you hear me?
Nope. Yep. What's up?
Dude, I just sold my last QQQ. Those 433s that I had. I just sold it for $3,000.
I have one.
That's
I'm still tickling with it right now.
I think the reason I didn't take,
so I had to sell it. So.
I think the reason I didn't buy more Qs is because I definitely had a short bias. So I only had a few of those 430s.
Where did that come from?
That's a good
Probably
question.
the tariffs, no? Shit.
I mean, state of the market, and then just looking at the chart, I was looking for 380s. You know, just like a terrible dump.
Well, just walk me through this. I want to understand where that bias comes from. Because if it's a bias based on price, I can understand that. But if it's a bias outside of price, because this morning's setup to me left you with the availability, and I said this morning, to leave your bias behind and set, like, there obviously with yesterday's breakdown, I said that the potential of us climbing right back up to go hit that third tap. But if we hit that, it would be the third tap, which would then obviously put us at like 1, 2, 3. That's when we expect the break. And having that empty space above you, right? So it just took one box to break. And with news, obviously, we just had that happen even faster. But yeah, but where do you feel like you saw more downside and where?
Well, just looking at the weekly, it looked like we had more downside to the 385 level. And obviously we've been bearish. And then when I go down to
Uh-oh. You disconnect? You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So just real quick, in reference to your weekly candle, remember that we cannot use weekly candles as confirmation, right? So like if you just said that we should go short because we fell beneath that floor, that's not confirmed, right? Until that weekly candle is about to close, which is only on Friday afternoon. So Friday afternoon is the most important, and then the end of the month, you look at the monthly candle, right? Same difference. So when I look at this, I see a box, I see a bounce, I see a pop over 410, a recovery of 417, right? And even a recovery of the 421 floor. Now that's on the weekly, right? And this weekly candle close right now, you know, is obviously setting up, you know, to be a pretty decent bounce and recovery. But I would say a weekly cost basis bouncing, and in fact, not to mention, the top of that box I just mentioned on the weekly is where we push off, right? So you bounce, you pop up, you return back to sender, but you don't fall back underneath that top of that box coming from the left, right? You get 2 wicks off of it. So that brings you down into the lower time frame where you see that setup, right? And again, I really encourage everybody, I'll go and download today's. Well, Ivy, did you post? Hold on.
Well, yeah, the thing about today's setup, I definitely had it charted. But again, and I get what you're saying as far as like the weekly setup, we're basically in the middle of the week, so it's kind of early.
Right.
But when I look at my weekly and my 24, it just looked like, especially closing yesterday the way we did, it looked like we had some more empty space down to at minimum 393, and then I was looking for 385s. Which turned out to be a free trade. Like I got into some yesterday, and then it was a free trade, so I was fine with it going to zero after that. But then my 430s that I had were essentially just hedges to that. So,
okay. I mean, I can see that. I think when we're, and this is just something to reflect on after, right? When we're looking at, I would even say this is where, okay, we're building a 24-hour box. We've got the 1-2, the 1-2, right? But this morning and yesterday, right? Yesterday we come down. This morning, wait, is this this morning? Yeah. We gap up, right? That gap is immediately filled. How many times have we bounced off of this? 1, 2, 3. And what is this? This is
wait, can you zoom out real quick and so I can see that lower box you have?
Oh, that's the weekly box that I'm referring to. It's just translated over there. So remember this box that I talked about? On the weekly, that's the weekly box. It looks different on the 24-hour, but that's the weekly cost basis, right? That floor is also the top of that box, right? Coming all the way over from, when was that? September or something like that. But regardless, right? The point here is that when we're open up, this morning, I think this is probably a good, it's 340, guys. If listen, I can't hold on anymore. It's 340. I'm gonna go ahead and sell. I bought a contract at fucking 43 cents and it's selling at $2,000. What am I pinching pennies for? I'm out. Sometimes I don't even believe this shit is real. Like it just doesn't make sense.
You say Israel?
Wait, do what?
Did you say Israel?
Oh my god. No, I did not.
Hey, Garrett, real quick. So, like AB was saying, but I don't look at the weeklies in 24 hours before market opens. I mean, after or during, you can say, right? So, 'cause I usually just stick to the 1 hour and 4 hour.
Okay,
Am I correct on that?
So, like in the morning, if you look at the weekly, you're looking at what the weekly has touched, right? So, in this case, this morning, you would have seen that the weekly bounced off of cost basis, which would have been a tangible target for you to bounce off of. But because that candle's not closed, it's more important that I'm on the 24-hour and the 4-hour, like you said, right? So it's not like a bad thing. It's not against the rules. You just, Friday afternoons are when weekly candles close. That's when it holds the most weight, period. Right? Can you use it? Yes, but it doesn't give you a solid signal. It's just telling you where price on the weekly. Say you have a giant weekly box and you're falling to it. Obviously, that's something that you should keep in mind because if you have a box on the weekly and it's got clean tops, it's going to bounce, right? So acknowledging that, okay, we're opening up the weekly candles, resting on that on this open. So you're on a weekly top of box. There's a good chance you're going to bounce. So then you go to the 24-hour and the 4-hour to confirm where does that go? Where do you go up? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I missed some comments. Potter, I just made 10K because of you. Well, you had to do it, man. Without news, this was short. I would disagree with you. I would say there wasn't really necessarily a fucking signal at the open. Bro, what Oh, those were 4,000%, over 4,600%. That's what I just got out of the queues at. But there's nothing compared. And hold on, I'm about to go watch my end of day in it. Oh, this is from today. 691. Okay, there's the queues. Yep, I literally say it. It's inside of my channel, guys. Look. Oh no. Look, we talked about the potential of going down, bouncing off the floor, but I'd mentioned. See, do I go over it? Yeah. I don't know. Watch that back. I'm not going to search through and listen to myself talk, but I'm running them. Yeah, run it back. I'll if you're in my Discord, you can go watch that video back.
Yeah, I mean, even just looking at the chart, I can see on the 1 hour, on the hourly, and everything you were saying this morning, it makes sense. It adds up.
Right. This, this
even the target of 440 is just clear.
Yeah. So like the empty space we made yesterday, the clean 1-2 off the top, the wave theory, the channel, not to mention, dude, that we had this sexy channel right here, right? Which obviously we stopped at the 453 because that was the floor, that was confluential, but it didn't hold, and that's why we hold runners anyway. But you know, it had a box up above it, and it just punched through that box and just went and tapped 465, which just now, by the way, that just filled up all of our empty space, right? Any empty space is now going to be back up here, and that's where it's going to get a little weird, because the empty space on the dot above where we just retested is 472.70, which I guess this is the most recent price action. That over, right, 477.40, and you have small pockets of empty space. So there's still remaining place, but I'll tell you what, I'm ready to play this motherfucker down whenever the fucking chart says to. That is your next opportunity. Instead of taking the FOMO and running into some shit, that's your next. Holy shit, dude. Holy crap. Mild. Bro, nice job. 3,600%, 4,400%, 1,000. There's one game. That's crazy, man. 7,100%. He held a contract from fucking 21 cents to $21 to $1,500, bro. I don't even think casinos do that shit. I don't even think slot machines do that shit. Damn. Sorry, I'm gassed up right now, guys. Sorry. Yeah. Just absolutely amazing. And then we had somebody make fucking 11,000% today.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Where are they?
Just give me my money.
They're calling the cops on you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Daddy.
Whoa. All right. Getting a little distracted. Yo, 4,280%. I've never made more percentage wise. Chump change. I've got one ICNT runner at 500%. Should I sell or should I hold? Should I sell or should I go? Damn. Oof. God, that I immediately got nausea. I don't like things like this. It's just no structure. It has structure here, so you did reclaim the floor. I'd say your next target is 2187. Should we let JD back in? Potter, do you think we'll ever get a play that big again? Yes, I do think we'll absolutely have the opportunity to make a play just as much. Now, are we going to have to settle for less in some? Yes, this is not the absolute regular. But, oh, pinch it. No, Sammy. Sammy!
Yeah, what's great about this system is you realize that these plays, I mean, obviously not like to this extreme, but plays like this where you see a ton of empty space, man, we get these every week. Like the opportunities are there.
And they're worth.
Yeah, and it's crazy because if you don't overtrade and you fucking don't have fear, you just swing at those, you're bound to make money, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
You're
that's what I'm saying.
bound to make money.
You know, and if you had 5 Gs, right, and you put 250 or 300 into every play that you take, if you took 5 plays, and now they have to look good. They have to
look good.
If they look good, and we know that, we can see the potential on that chart. The more that you do this, the more that you'll see it. The more that you hang out in the Discord and talk to these people, talk to everybody in here, you're gonna start seeing it. And when you do, those are the ones you swing at. And let's say you only hit 2, and the rest fucking fall down the drain. $250, $300 loss. You know, you lose $900 or $600. Dude, this one single contract is more than what you would have put into the whole play, all of them. And that's good risk to reward. But I always miss this ever since I've been in.
Such a crazy fucking.
Yeah, that's what I learned, man. The risk to reward part is key too, because my first go round or my first couple go rounds in the, in this group, dude, I didn't really understand like to be consistent with putting the same risk in as long as the setup is there. So I would throw in like $100 on like a great play, and then like 500 or like 500 on a shitty one, right?
Bro, AB, I've been there, bro.
And you can't build consistency like that. But if the setups are there, you have to be confident and say the trade either works or it doesn't. And what is my 1R? Like my risk is I'm cool with losing $500. And then to, Garrett's point, it's like, even if you lose 3 or 4 of those, just the reason why I'm definitely not upset about missing, the cube play is because over the past week I made $6,000 taking shorts. So like I'm cool missing this, but it's still it just solidifies like, but the risk tolerance that you're talking about, it's really sort of a game changer. And so where I'm at in my trading journey is like I feel like I'm getting the hang of the Potter box system, and then tweaking things to make my execution better. Another thing is like holding 2 PTs, to the PT.
Yeah. That's super important.
All trust, bro. You gotta trust it, and to trust it, you have to see it. And this is like, man, it's fucking, this shit's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but it feels good when you get it, man. I mean, and dude, those contracts I just sold for 19, selling at 23 now.
Hey, Target is like, I mean, I have to me that makes makes sense. I'm already in it fully, so it makes sense to me.
Here's what's dope about
I got those hedges.
When you're in a position like you're good, right? Go to the 5, right? Build out your box. You could even go to the 3-minute. Look at it. 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 Bam. Get fucked. You see what I'm saying? Now you know.
That's where I entered the first half, was on that bounce. I was like, my mic was muted. I'm like, hey, look at Target, look at Target, look at Target.
I would assume that we're going to gap up tomorrow to 472.89, and then price on the data will move us in one direction or the other. So,
hell yeah, we're ripping right now. These contracts, fuck yeah.
Central Market Open 8:30. Biggest winner was the day I even found Potter took Celsius for 500%. Listen, KY, I will say, man, when I first started doing this, I struggled with waking up early. That is super important. You don't have to wake up like 2 hours before the market opens, but if you don't wake up and have a plan, and I haven't seen you talk too much, but that ultimately is going to be a large element. So waking up at the last minute, that really just puts you in a position of fear and stuff like that. So try and respond to those. Have a morning routine and shit, So
You still got those 441s?
No.
$2,600.
I know.
What the fuck?
But I do have
Excuse my language.
I have PLTR $90 calls. Those are at 920%. Yuck. Oh man, I'm gonna hold those till 96. I'd like to know how folks who get distracted by the conversation can focus on the important things. I mean, I have I'm paying attention to two things at once.
It's not that bad. It really isn't.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I know it's case by case, person by person. But for me, the charts are right in front of me. My P&L is right in, well, not always, but it's right here. I can see it. So I'm watching while I'm talking because I'm yapping pretty much all fucking.
Well, I can. I guess I'm being kind of harsh. I can understand when I first joined the group, it was annoying when everybody was talking while you were charting, right? And it would send you to another stock and you'd go on a tangent. But like what I notice is if you're here early in the mornings, like the shit talking that we do kicks in like 30 minutes after the bell has already rung. During the first, during pre-market, everything is already there. So if you come during pre-market and you pay attention, like the shit talking that we do during the day, like
I'm gonna spin off that point because seriously, I mean, there's two people who've come in here. They show up at 9 o'clock, 9:30, right? They haven't really caught a drift. Like, I'm sorry, but I know we all have obligations and stuff like that. If you're waking up late and you're showing up at 9:25, 9 o'clock, I'm sorry, but that's your fault.
Yeah,
that's on you.
100%.
I show up every day. Yeah, I might be a couple minutes late, but that gives you just more time. But the first three things I do: SPY, QQQ, IWM, game plan, right? And that right there is probably the most important analysis that you're going to get from me, because it's the map of, or the boss of
where everything is going to go.
The whole market, right?
I think people get so set on, oh, but I didn't get my stock charted. I didn't get my ticker charted. It's like if you pay attention to the Qs, SPY, IWM, like you're gonna have a general idea of what the entire fucking market is going to do.
Yeah, and that, knowing that your price is going to be dictated more than likely by those three ETFs, basically gives you what you need. And I mean, yeah. Hey, listen, KY, dude, that 100%, man. Sometimes, listen, I'll just give you guys a little bit of insight into my psychology, or especially in the beginning. Losing jobs, not having anybody, not everybody able to like stay at a job longer than a year, like it's depressing, right? I moved from job to job. I wouldn't take disrespect, but like at the end of the day, trying to take care of your family and do that stuff is really, really tough. And while I was, I still had jobs, but like while I was going through learning how to trade and stuff like that, at my job, I could wake up and fucking throw my pair of pants on, throw my clothes on, and I'm out the door. That takes it took me 5 minutes to get out the door. When when I tried to do that with the market, wake up right at some of my biggest losing days had been because I show up last minute. And it's always, even though we feel uncomfortable or we can feel like frustrated with ourselves, like that's when I tell people, like, yeah, if you're frustrated, you should be. That's an appropriate response to your lack of effort, or maybe you're lazy, or you're just right now you're being lazy, right? We go through phases as humans, but use that time to like just you saying that, you know, time to fucking lock in, zero excuses. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that's the type of attitude where you're like, all right, I see the problem. It's time to address it, you know, and that could be as simple as like waking up too late, waking up late or staying up too late, or not prepping, right? Not charting yourself. Cause there are a lot of people, sometimes people hop in here and they're like, man, I'm just not getting it. And the more that I dig, the more that I realize that they're not really doing anything. You know, I know there's some people who just have struggled to get the concepts, but, you know, those are very few and far between. But, you know, some of the people who have come to me and they're like, nope, this is making zero sense, or they get pissed off, it's because they're not really digging. I mean, fuck, JD was a perfect example. Dude takes fucking calls, tells me flat out, I don't use the Potter box, I just listen to you. Okay, bro. Well, now you're mad at me.
He said that?
Yeah. Yeah, he said that's one of his first fucking... That was
That's
like
crazy,
a
bro.
month into him being here. He told me flat out. He was like, yeah, I don't use the Potter box. Like, I haven't learned it. If you go look back at some of the things that he said, it indicates that he'd never used this system.
Yeah, he said himself.
Yeah. So
Use like a like the news things, whatever.
and to
Like,
him, right? Exactly. And to him, it may seem like I'm being lazy. And I know that other people like try to use that as ammunition because I leave at 11 o'clock and I go about my day. Well, my trading system, that's how, if you guys weren't here, that's exactly what the fuck I would do, except I'd probably be gone way before that. It'd probably be 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I don't need to stare at my charts. I would just have alerts set, you know, shit, I'd walk around with the fucking headset on if I feel like I need to watch. But yeah, I mean, your effort, and here's where it's like, okay, you see this stuff happen. You go through our gains page and you see the percentages that are in here. It's unlike any other place in the world. So it's like,
dude, I hit that Babo play. I posted it on my story, and I had a couple of people message me from my hometown like, there's just no way you're hitting that percent. They're like, what's the fucking catch? Like, that's not real. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking real.
Yeah. And that right there, man, like, even people's just like being taught by somebody else, they can't believe that that's something that we're able to do on a consistent basis, even if it's a 200%, right? Sometimes I scoff at 200% plays because I'm like, you know, whatever. But like, fucking A, dude, that's really good. You know, for everybody, that's outstanding. But if you were to walk past this opportunity and nowhere inside of you feel motivated to not follow somebody in here, but to, I'm saying my whole business model, my whole initiative is I'm trying to give you all of these tools. And I'm teaching them to you, and I'm trying to, like, when I explain things, sometimes I feel like I talk too much and like I go but like I try to go in depth and answer these questions because it's important that people have this information as they're learning, because the hungry people eat it up and use it. I mean, straight up, like I see when I go over, like, I have a 3-hour yapathon. The next couple of weeks, I can see those changes, you know, in people. But you should look at what's happening in here and not want someone to do it for you, but I want to learn how to fucking do that. That's it. And you have to be motivated to do that and expect, yes, there's going to be good, there's going to be bad on the way to get here, right? You're going to go, and I can't define your struggle. You know, Jorge, I know you've been through it, dude. You know, Robert,
yeah,
you've been through it, man. You know, there's been a lot of you who've picked it up, and I'm sure that made people who have taken longer feel some type of way. They're like, hey, yo, like, but at the end of the day, it is, there's very few people. There are a few people in this world very few people who I have spoken to and say, I don't think this is for you. There's some dude, and I hope, you know what, man, this is nothing but love, dude, but I'm going to give this TKR, there's a guy DMing me. I don't know his name. Nobody knows your name. But that's somebody whose panic I can feel. Their fear I can feel. It's so erratic and fear fueled, that you need therapy. That is actually one of the things I would probably say for most people is if you can't get this system, there's probably not a lot of systems that you could operate in, even outside of the stock market, because if you're struggling mentally, you're struggling psychologically, any of these, same thing, but like, emotionally, excuse me, if you're struggling in these areas, it's going to translate to the charts and you're going to have to get some fucking therapy or something. You need a mentor that for your brain, but it's possible. And I think the Discord, as it grows and more people, like, this has been a filter for people who are dedicated. They stick here. You know what I mean? People who are dedicated and focused on this, they stay here. And that has built a community of people who are all looking at the same thing. And that is not a common thing in this market. Like, it's not. Most of the Discords I've ever been in or seen, you got every member has a different chart. Every member has different indicators. Every member is using flow or not using flow, or they're using black, whatever the fuck it's called, dark pool or whatever the fuck it is. It's all spread out. This community that has, I almost at this point have to say that me and Manny and Ivy built, but like the community has, and I think is probably one of the fueling factors, so if you jump in here, you're not alone. Even if I'm not here, somebody's here, and you're going to be able to have a conversation with it. So, I mean, or with somebody, and probably most of the time get past that struggle or see what type of, it's beautiful in a way where you can have people around you who can serve as mirrors. Like, you know what, maybe dude, that probably wasn't the greatest call for you to have a bias today when there was no setup for a bias, or, this is, that's news related, or maybe, but we all serve as like, reminders for each other. So it's fucking cool. And I don't think that's where I would say it comes down to what you got going on. Everybody has this potential. Everybody has the capability of doing this. It's whether or not you're motivated and absolutely certain that this is what it's going to do. So, have the homie Put Brothers ever joined this group? Well, I would assume he did. He was here. Never heard him talk. I don't even know what his Discord name was.
I'm convinced.
I want to add one thing. The fact that when I wasn't part of this group a while back, I would have different mindsets put in my head because I would be doing a lot of research or just looking at different traders, and that would mix up my mind, muddy it up and everything. The main thing is that has, especially this drop that we got, 10-15% drop in Qs. I was unhinged through this whole process because the thing is that I'm not FOMOing into it because I know these 1,000% gains are normal for the whole year. It's not that I'm waiting for a market crash to make that kind of money. And if I just need to avoid this week altogether, I can do that because I could work in a more stable environment and make still the same amount of gains. That to me just stays throughout the process. If you miss this week, I've seen these weeks in the past where we've made 4,000 or 5,000%, and now we're here and we're doing it again. Maybe 6 months later or 7 months later, but it happens more.
3,000 percenters since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so it's happening all throughout.
1,000%, and it's I'm with you, bro, Panda. I'm sitting here looking at this you really just need one good one, man. It's crazy. One good one change it all.
Yeah,
Look what happened with us, Jorge and the Babo, man. That shit. Fuck, dude, that's the most money I ever made, bro.
Me too. Me too. And you did a lot for my confidence. I still didn't even hold correctly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
and even the thing is let's say you put $100 towards play. If you have $1,000 account and you're just putting $100 a play, you still have 10 different A++ setups that you're looking at to get into.
And you can diversify.
7 out of those plays will hit. Maybe 3 will not hit, but you will have some level of justification as to why they didn't hit, right? And it's like it's very technical when you want to get into a place, just not because everyone's in it. Like you know the setup is gonna work, and because you put so less into it, your emotions are almost gone. You're not worried about $100 loss. You're playing it for seeing yourself win through that position.
And I think another really cool thing is in Chart Django, you know, and Jorge, you guys are saying this. Yeah, one of these can change it forever. Think about like how little money you had to have put in today, or on Baba, or on the leg down, or on plays that happen earnings or regular basis.
Yeah.
You take
I personally can vouch for that too, because I
Right.
mean, when I made like a good 10, 15 grand in a play, that was money that I didn't change my strategy. I didn't scale up or anything. I just continued doing the same thing, and automatically like you end up putting more money in, but like that's because you've made so much. Like I've taken my account from like 1,000 to like 2,000 to like 5,000. Now like I was at like 15,000 in one of my plays, and that was all just games. So now at this point, if I'm putting $100 towards a play and I can see that there's like 70% chance that's gonna hit, I'm taking it because 7 out of 10 times I'm gonna hit it.
Yeah.
If it's an A+ setup.
Yeah, and the if that one of those or a couple of those does hit, and then you're able to take, right? Let's say you take, and I just saw a couple of people saying they took, you know, $200-300 to 10 over 10, 15. When I was able to trade on 10 and 15, life got a little bit easier because then I could diversify into, it's not this like, oh, I really got to be careful about what I pick. You need to be careful about what you pick, but you're careful about what you pick when you're in a small account because you don't have the capital to buy more. You don't have that, you can't spread yourself out. And so with something like this, a day like today, and this is right around the corner, it's going to happen again. The candle you just created today is going to create a candle in similar fashion down. You have to be in position to take that. You can, right? And you take that 250, 300, and it turns into 15, 20, right? Or even 10. You can now repeat that process with less stress, and you're able to diversify or even more effectively hedge yourself to put yourself in a position to win, right? How many times have we taken a position, even if it's speculatively, and then we use the cues to hedge? The trade doesn't work out, but we didn't have high risk on it. But then the cues, those hedges end up printing, 200-300% in opposition to that. And that's like, again, this strategy allows for you to, and some people argue, like, well, if it works, pile into it. I get it, like that's fine, but there's a ladder that I'm climbing. Right now, my average that I put into most of my trades is like 1,500 to $3,000. If I'm going hard, maybe like 6 or 8, but then that's ridiculous. And I haven't done that in a long time. But for me, the fact that I need to live off this shit. I can't, there's no like backtracking 20 grand. Like we can't have that happen. I gotta live, maintain my shit and save and fucking invest and maintain properties and fucking, take care of my family and pay the fucking tax, man. I gotta keep shit up. So I can't afford these slides backwards that a lot of these traders say is part of the game, right? Not that I don't take losses, but I still like the fact that with a $50,000 account and putting that risk forward, one play, dude, $1,500, like I didn't pile into the cues like that, but like, bro, one of those plays, you just tripled or doubled your account, regardless of size. So knowing what we know, right? It's a powerful tool, but it's also just a reaffirmation that patience and waiting. You wait for the right one, wait for it to look perfect, right? Yesterday, Disney short. I don't know. Let's wait for it to, I'd rather take it below the lows. Remember, Jorge? So,
yeah.
Right? So, doesn't look right yet. Now, even if you did position yourself in that, it would have wicked down. You would have to deal with stop losses. But that's where, yeah, once you get familiar with the system, it looks good and it's worth putting your money into. And when you see those opportunities, you can use low risk to make a high reward. And that way you're less stressed. You hopefully have compounded your contracts, which allows you to trim, which then reduces your stress, which then allows you to focus on the chart and not the money. So it's a beautiful thing that hopefully I can fucking elegantly put inside of a book one day.
Yeah, I will also say,
Love you, Potter.
People
Love you
who
too, man.
feel like they missed it, like, man, I promise you, just be patient, because you're gonna have another opportunity to bag this shit again.
Yeah,
like that's
100%, man.
The
100%.
opportunity will open up,
Yes.
especially with the move. I'm fucking hyped for, maybe another Q's leg down or whatever. But this shit, that empty space is gonna get eaten up.
Yeah, 100%.
And what'll happen is people be in the chat, whether it's TikTok or whatever the case may be, and they'll say, how did, Potter, how do you know the news was gonna, it's already, the chart has baked in a news event.
Yep.
I don't get how this lines up, bro. I'm sitting here dumbfounded, like, what the fuck? And then it's like, don't even question it. Who cares? Just make the fucking money. But like, I'm still like, what's up?
Listen, I have
Yeah?
the question. So when I first said I see something, like I could acknowledge that like there was something on the chart that I'm seeing, but it led me and is continuing to lead me down. Like at first I struggled with being able to say I made a strategy, because who the fuck am I? Seriously, like who the fuck am I to walk into a market?
I can imagine that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
you are.
right. Like who? No, I mean I literally like I had people say that shit to me, but like to come into the market, and after a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, like you're questioning in that time frame, am I allowed to do this? Like, is this allowed? Am I allowed to even fucking put forth a new idea? Like, this has to be a market saturated with ideas. If you go to the indicator tab, it's like there's 9,000 fucking indicators that have been made. So I dealt with, how has nobody else discovered this? This can't be real. And who the fuck am I? Like, should I even give it a name? Once I was able to say, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck all this shit. And then the more I learn about what has been created, the more I've cast aside what I've been taught before about, even mental, like the psychological games behind this. And now I get to this question: is this how they build shit? Like, is this the best peephole into what is going on behind the door? You know what I'm saying? Does it matter at the end of the day? No, because I'm making freaking buku money. Ellie, why do you wait for your mommy to sneak off so you can sneak into my office so you can get on live and harass everybody? Huh?
No one's calling.
I heard your mom just said to Ellie. What a little troublemaker. Come and give me a hug. Come give me a hug. Say hi to the chat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hello.
Do you know my dad is stinky?
Thank you, Ellie. All right,
I
get out of
fucking knew
here.
it.
Isn't he?
All right,
Yeah,
language,
I knew
language, Jorge.
Oh,
God.
sorry. That's my bad.
Did she say you're stinky?
Yeah,
It was the
dude.
feet. Said I knew it.
Dude, it's you don't shower.
Yeah, they know. They saw pictures of us. All right, go.
Is it the feet?
Nah,
All right.
he's sweating from all the bands he just made, bro. He's sweating.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Do I look sweaty?
I don't know.
I feel like this is the
Ellie
golden
said you're
age of this
stinky.
Discord.
Man. Yeah, no, you said that. Ellie literally said, he's stinky. And Jorge goes, I fucking knew it, bro.
That's my bad.
Oh, not the F word. I mean, I'm not. I thought you were affirming what she said. Like I knew Potter was stinky.
100%.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's take a scroll.
It's crazy to think like where this all might go in like 5 years, man.
I've thought about that too as well, man. Like where
Because this is crazy, Garrett. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, those guys I bought those courses from, they were doing seminars around the country and they weren't teaching shit like this. Nothing like this.
That's why I
Packed
told
rooms,
that's
$100
what
entries, dude. Like I'm telling you.
Bro, that's what I mean. People don't think I haven't had the opportunity Okay, I have to get out, and Ellie just said, I want you to get out in 5 minutes. She just bosses me around. No, I mean, yeah, people don't think that I've had the opportunity to make millions. I wouldn't even have to trade. But I'm not hanging my hat on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can teach you from right here. I mean, if I'm ever in your city and you want to link up, I'm not fucking charging people. You know, if there's over 100 people and we need a venue, I'm gonna charge you because we're gonna pay for the venue together. I'm not paying for it. But
Going to Cade's house, Cade's farm.
I don't know, man. I love the humbleness, but
I get it, man. It's
I
not
don't
even.
know,
It's.
man.
I can't do it, bro. I can't, man.
Yes, you can. This shit's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
you're familiar with venues, aren't you? Didn't you just have one?
What are you talking about?
For a wedding, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the bread, dog.
Oh man.
No, I'm with you, Jorge. This thing is crazy because I have another Discord. This guy posted the Discord owner posted his gains, right? He paid $8 for a QQQ call, and he posted $16 he sold it at. And so I followed up with my $50 contract for a $20 sell or a $2,000 sell. Like,
Bro,
or
it's
50-cent
unreal.
contract for
You
2,000.
show
I'm like,
average people these numbers in a fucking seminar situation, everyone's buying the $10,000 workshop. I did it, and they showed me less.
That's crazy.
I didn't. So
Dude, he paid. Yeah, you paid 10 bands, bro.
Yeah, they gave me a phone number I could call and shit, and like it was pretty cool. I mean, it was for entry. I mean,
10K?
Yeah.
yes, bro.
He
Just
got bet. We
hey,
call
there's
that in
people that just
America. We
wanna
call
get
that getting
involved.
bamboozled.
Yeah, you got
It
fleeced
led
hard.
me to here. This is
But
the
bro,
first Discord I've ever
yeah,
had.
that's just a part of the story though, bro. Because like
Uh-huh.
you've made that 10 bands back, you know, basically in this group. So like it just adds to the story of like your trading journey. And so I don't know, it's kind of exciting that you got, well, not that you got ripped off, but like just because I paid thousands of dollars for courses too, and you know I paid, you know, what I paid for Potter's lifetime, and it's like, dude, I paid 10% of what I paid for everything in the past, and this shits on everything. But it's a part, you know, it's a part of the trading journey, which is, you know, funny to think about.
It's just it's fucking dumb, bro. It's insane. This is nuts.
Jorge, you need to climb a mountain right now.
Yeah, dude.
I've been feeling like I need to climb a mountain for the last like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
I could put Jorge on my back and train for a mountain climb.
Yeah, I want to see you go up one, Mr. Fucking Slenderman ass, the lengthy ass. Nah, though, this is good stuff. It's a pleasure being here with you guys, man, and
Yeah,
seeing
dude.
this. Like, I left the States to come do this and really like lock in, man, and like I just don't regret it at all. 1 second, dude. This is.
Let's go,
I
man.
feel like the golden age, man.
I gotta get out of here before you guys blow my head up. I'm gonna go Kanye.
It hasn't been 5 minutes yet. I've been counting. It's been 3 minutes, Potter. Not 5.
Dude, I've been getting glazed now for like 15 minutes straight, dude. I can't take it
You still
anymore.
have,
No,
you still have 2 more minutes.
2 more minutes till what?
You said 5 minutes, so it's still been 3 minutes since you said that.
Okay, all right. How do you join the Discord? You
I'm
go through my
counting.
website, Simple Stacks Investment. The link's in my bio. Make sure you read all of this extremely important shit and look through the whole website before you go.
This is a signal group, guys. Don't let them lie to you.
Shut the fuck up. By the way, if anybody wants to be added to the Hall of Fame on the testimonials,
That's a lot. I didn't know you had that many.
Still going.
I added some pictures.
Damn, I have to make a second web page for this shit. That's crazy. Oh man, what a good ass day. I gotta make a Potter song like the ones that glazed LeBron. Oh no. Saw one of those.
I could just imagine that.
Please don't do that.
Bro, my boy came to see me a couple weeks ago, and we made a LeBron Glaze song.
I thought you were gonna say make love. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah.
I'm just, I don't know. Anyway, all right, guys. Sell the rally. Cool. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Your time's up.
Yeah, time's up. I got to get out of here. All right, guys. I hope you had a great day. If you do have anything you want to throw in the testimonials, Journey here has been fire. You haven't said anything yet. That'd be dope. Post your gains in there. If you're on TikTok, Ivy will post the code for lifetime, yearly, all that good stuff. And just for future reference, if you have lifetime, when this new workshop comes out, not the one that I'm doing live, but the one that is going to be the last thing I do as far as like educational stuff, this is going to be the pin in the cushion for good. That one will be discounted only to lifetime members. Okay, period. That's it. I've already made my decision. So for future reference, if you're waiting, most of you guys don't, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna give people a free rundown of what this is about. There's not going to be much. If you've been here with me for a year and a half, I'm not trying to push you to take this at all. I don't think you need to. If you feel like you need to, and you have been in here for an extended amount of time, come to me first, and I'll see if I can't help you before you buy it. Okay? Because if you've been in here for a while, I think you probably don't need to do that. This is going to be, it is tailored for everybody, but it is tailored for people who especially are new. So, all right. I am. Yes, I am. Yeah, there's a 35% discount code for for yearly and lifetime right now. I sold too early, missed out on 3.6 $200 contracts. Well, write that down. Make sure you know why and where. Reflect on why right after it happens. Reflect, write it down. Why did you get out? Were you scared? What were you scared of? Were you paying attention to the chart? Yeah, what's up?
I was just curious if anyone, just for giggles, is trying SPY calls into CPI tomorrow, and what strike you took.
I didn't take SPY. I don't have SPY. I would hope they got somewhere around the 552 to 555 area.
Yeah, I didn't touch SPY, but I did grab some Qs. I grabbed Qs up and down.
I'm gonna make. I'll make one prediction right now. You know what I think we're gonna see tomorrow? Right, clip this. For some reason, I got a gut feeling we're gonna see a candle right here. I could be wrong, but I feel like even that wick right there, we could make a candle right in there. Okay, don't ever let me draw a candle again, but you get it. The Discord or the discount code is Potter Stocks, all caps, 35. Potter Stocks with an S at the end. All right.
Yeah, they were pretty cheap. I couldn't resist for a hedge against my puts. I took 576 SPYs.
Dope. Yeah, depending on how data comes in, the next target to the upside is 552. Period. End of story.
Or what is it?
I think it's cool. No. It's no, that's for Friday. That's core CPI month over month.
All right, see you guys tomorrow. Today was great. Love y'all.
Yep, I'm gonna upload this video. Make sure to go watch.
Video games tonight.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna crack some beers. I'm gonna celebrate. Today was amazing. I'm gonna probably stream my game in the game chat. We haven't gone in there in a while, so if you want to hang out and talk about dumb shit and celebrate the money, I'll be in there a little bit later. I'll alert you if you want to. All right, guys, I'm gonna go up.